morning, everyone. I just want to welcome you and thank you for coming back. We're going to be ending our series on the life of Noah with lesson 5, and it's going to be about the everlasting covenant. First of all, what is a covenant? I heard you. I could hear you say it's an agreement. Very good. So today we're going to be focusing on, and if you could get your Bible, we're going to be looking at Genesis chapter 9, verse 16. Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment just to go get your Bible. I'm going to be reading, and it goes, "Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth." This goes back to how God was very pleased with Noah, his sacrifices, and what he had done on the altar. God's love now rested with those whom he saved. But Noah may have wondered, and he might have been thinking, okay, but what about in the future? What if there are some wicked people? Is he going to flood the earth again? And that was a good question for him to think about. So I want us to take a look at Genesis 8, verses 20 through 22, as well as chapter 9 in Genesis, verses 1 through 17. And what we're going to do, as I am reading these parts of the Bible, I have on this board, when this word is read, you're going to say or do something. Okay, so let me go through this quickly. When I say Noah, you're going to say righteous man. When I say the word fruitful, say yum, yum, and you're going to be pretending like you're eating a piece of fruit. When I say earth, you're going to spin around once and you're going to say planet Earth. When I come to the word creature, you're going to growl, hiss, or snort. The word covenant, you're going to clap 7 times. The word rainbow, say ooh, ah. Multiply, which also means increase in number, depends on what Bible you have. You're going to count 2, 4, 6, 8. And then lastly, we have clouds. You're going to point up to the sky and say, looks like rain. Okay, so I'm going to be reading. You should be at Genesis chapter 8, verses 20 through 22. Okay, so it says, "Then Noah built an altar to the Lord." So I should have heard you say righteous man when I said Noah, right? So then Noah, righteous man, built an altar to the Lord, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smiled, and the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. This means that he was very pleased with this. Then the Lord said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground for man's sake. Although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done." He knows there's going to be wickedness, but he's promising to us, I'm not going to flood the earth again. It shows his mercy for us. So verse 22, "While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease." When we take a look at this, because of his promise not to flood the earth, he says in verse 22, while the earth remains, that there is a clue for us that it's not going to be everlasting. The earth at some point is going to end. But until then, his promise continues. so here is our junior high challenge. Are you ready? So there's 3 parts. I want you to think about, where do you fit in? Okay, so are you still building the ark? Are you just entering the ark now? Or are you safely inside the ark and heaven bound? Think about it. Where are you? In the beginning, middle, or the end?